to say. And the thing is, these were journalists in most instances who should have known better and should have familiarized themselves with court procedures. They had heard dismissed with cause and thought that it applied to the Oscar case. So now you've got all of these tweets. And the thing about tweeting is it never goes away.
Yeah,
you can delete it, it stays there though, because people now take screenshots to remind you of what you've said. So now we had all of these apologies that have to come out, and people then have to sit back and actually listen to what the judge has to say before he gives his final ruling.
And talking about hashtags with that, I noticed on my social media timelines, a lot of the hashtags were hashtag justice. So, you know, what came out, if you look at those sort of trends, what did you see?
What we saw is that there was very little sympathy for Oscar. Very little sympathy. We had a hard time finding the people who were in support of him. We're not saying that they weren't there, but it's just that their voices were not as loud as the others were, those who felt that there was justice for Riva. We had that hashtag when once the ruling had been made, then the Justice for Riva hashtag came up. We also ran a poll on the website, just a snap poll. It's not scientific at all. And what the poll was saying, we basically asked people, the ruling has been made, what do you think about it? And the options that we had were that this is, justice has been served. We also said that no, this is not fair on Oscar, and obviously that I don't care, because you do have those people who don't actually care. The overwhelming response of those who decided to participate in our poll was 82% said yes, justice has been served. And this is what we saw, I think, from the comments that were being posted by people feeling very happy that, you know, the initial ruling by Judge Masipa was, for some people, it just didn't gel with what they'd heard. And it didn't gel with what her statements had been and her conduct had been during the trial. And then she delivered this culpable homicide ruling, and people were like, what? So now this is why I think that for them, for people on Twitter anyway, this sat better with them.
Okay, let's take a look at another big story in the sporting world. Heineke Meyer quitting as Springbok coach.
Yeah.
I'm sure that got people talking.
It did get people talking. There was a feeling that, okay, you know what, he's done. He did his job. He went there, he did what he could for the team. The sports minister said that, you know what, he's an honorable person. He has served his country. He's now stepping aside, and they note that he has decided not to make himself available to coach the team anymore. There was some disappointment that he is leaving, because some people feel that he is the ideal coach for the Springboks, but there were some people who were quite happy that he's going. They don't feel that he's done anything for transformation. Prayers of thank you. We're so glad that you finally see the back of you. But like I've said, there's some people who wish he would stay on, really. And
then looking at two sort of big topics that have been, that we've seen from the start of the week, World AIDS Day and COP21.
Yeah. Tuesday was World AIDS Day. It's still very much with us. You know, people might think that other things have overtaken this this disease, but they haven't. It's still there. The stats are still there.
Relevant.
They're staggering. It's still relevant. Lots of people who are, you know, sharing support, saying that we have to really do away with the stigma attached to AIDS. Okay. Nobody knows, how do we fight it? You know. So, but people are giving their suggestions. Let's be accepting of people. Let's not blame people for falling ill with this disease. With regards to COP21, okay, the climate conference is on in Paris.
And from what we're seeing all over the world, flooding, droughts.
Flooding and all of that. So people have got real experiences of what's going on with climate change, but there still seems to be some sort of denialism. There's cynicism also. We had one of the tweets saying that these people are flying around in their jets and they're telling us to do something about our CO2 emissions. And if you're thinking that you're probably driving an inky-dinky little car that's not doing much for CO2 to contribute to the CO2 emissions on the planet, how can you listen to these people who, and in most cases, they're putting their economic interests ahead of the environment, and we'll probably end up paying.
All right, and then taking a look at our SABC YouTube stream, we are doing quite a bit of coverage on the Forum of China-Africa Cooperation.
Yes, we are. We're going to be streaming some of the proceedings going there. We streamed this morning the opening of it. The president gave an address, and then the Chinese president, also Xi Jinping, also gave his address. So we've been streaming all of that. It's still continuing. So if you did miss it, you can go onto our YouTube channel and catch up with what's going on.
Okay, and then something a little different to end off. On a Friday, there was the airing of Our Perfect Wedding. It got a lot of criticism.
A lot of criticism. This is quite a popular show. But what they did last Sunday is they had this man who he's getting married to a lady now. I think she's now 23, he's now 38 or 39 or something. But he then said on TV that he used to, when he was 28, he used to go and collect schoolgirls and take them back home with him. And that he started dating his current wife when she was 14. And nobody realized, we were all wondering, did the producers of the show realize that this was a case of statutory rape? This man is there, he's admitting to this. So obviously Twitter blew up.
Yeah.
There is this phenomenon called Black Twitter, which just basically took it on. They were like, how can we be subjected to this sort of thing?
Yeah.
In the end, the producers of the show had to apologize, and ABSA has pulled out as a sponsor.
Oh, wow. So a lot of backlash and repercussions.
A lot of backlash
with that. And there was
yes.
quite a lot of expectation before it aired. So I think this is, well, unfortunate for the show, for the producers, for everyone involved. But Bongi, thank you very much. That's where we leave it for this week. Remember, you can tweet us on @SABC News Online. That's Digital News Production Editor Bongi Mogale.